was, and I was so excited about what this game is, and it's the reason why that I'm so stoked for everyone at home to enjoy this. So coming up next, WB Games is throwing you smack in the middle of the action with their Gore Fest shooter, Back for Blood. So grab your weapon of choice, because here is WB Games, Back for Blood. So coming up next, WB Games is throwing you.
Thanks, Golden Boy. Hello and welcome to the Back for Blood PvP Showcase. If you don't already know, Back for Blood is an upcoming 4-player co-op zombie shooter made by the creators of Left 4 Dead. Today we're diving deeper into the new PvP mode called Swarm, how it works, and what you'll be doing, maybe even a little bit of strategy. We'll also talk with Turtle Rock's lead game designer on can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration of this new PvP mode and what makes it fun and unique?
Of course, so just like our previous titles, we really enjoy bringing new ideas to the table while retaining the spirit of the genre that we're working in. So Back 4 Blood's PvP is heavily inspired by our previous titles that mix survival, fast action, massive monsters, and a touch of horror. So our goal is to make a balanced and fun PvP mode with just as much replayability as the main campaigns.
So what's the structure of the PvP like? Do you play in rounds? Can you play as both cleaners and ridden in one match, or are we swapping between the two?
Yeah, so it's played as a best-of-3 match. Teams of 4 take turns swapping between the ridden and cleaner players. The job of the cleaners is to scavenge supplies, find a good place on the map to fortify their position, and try to last as long as they can. The ridden's main objective is to kill the cleaners as fast as they can. So this is achieved by choosing the right ridden to counter the other team's strategy, using mutation upgrades, and by coordinating attacks with other AIs and players. As the round progresses, the swarm moves in, so this increases the size of the ridden attacks and shrinks the playable space, sometimes forcing the cleaners out of their favorable positions, right? So when a cleaner team is wiped from the field, the points are scored for how long they survive. Then both teams swap, and then they go at it from the other side. The team that runs the clock the longest as the cleaners is the winner.
Now, I understand you can play as all the different cleaners in both co-op and PvP. Do you have a favorite character that you play as?
So I have a couple. I play Mom a lot. She's a badass with a sawed-off shotgun. She adds a lot of survivability to the team. She can also instantly help teammates that have fallen during battle. All of our cleaners have special perks, so that one is hers.
Let's jump into another trailer that goes a little more in depth on the Ridden's progression through PvP. Check it out.
points. They can spend these points on team-wide upgrades called mutations. Mutations upgrade and improve a lot of different things on the side, from adding effects to their abilities. They might buff AI waves and size and strength, which is a really cool thing. Is effective and they persist for all games. So as a team starts to coordinate their upgrades, it's pretty fun.
What are some strategies that the Ridden team? Okay, so Brandon, we just saw that each different Ridden has their own variants as well as their own mutations on each variant. So can you expand a little more on these special abilities and how they work?
Sure. So at the start of each round, players can choose between 9 playable Ridden, each with their own unique abilities. So for example, the Stalker can pounce a player and pull them away from their team, or an Exploder can time their detonation in the middle of a group of cleaners and fling them all in separate directions.
Now, knowing that each Ridden has these different abilities, how do they change and improve throughout a match and improve the Ridden's chance of winning?
So as the Ridden battle against the cleaners, they gain points. They can spend these points on team-wide upgrades called mutations. Mutations upgrade and improve a lot of different things on the Ridden side, from adding effects to their abilities. They might buff the common AI waves in size and strength. So the really cool thing is so they affect the whole team, and they persist between rounds. So as a Ridden team starts to coordinate their upgrades, things can get pretty wild.
What are some strategies that the Ridden team can take on in order to get a leg up on the competition?
If the cleaners are really sticking together, you can swap to the Wretch and vomit on their location. That's going to cause them to spread out, right? This is going to open up a whole bunch of opportunities for your other Ridden players to attack, right? So if you get them to spread out and there's a Stalker nearby, Stalker uses the Chaos to grab one of the cleaners and drag them off into the swarm. The Wretch's vomit also slows their victims, so if a tall boy who's naturally pretty slow can attack one of those slowed characters, they're going to really be able to pummel them. Another good one is if a Exploder waits for a cleaner to go revive their friend, they can use that as an opportunity to charge in and detonate on them, sending them flying and doing a massive amount of damage.
Ooh, sounds pretty brutal. So with that being said, which is your favorite Ridden to play as?
That has to be the tall boy. It's pretty easy to pick up and play, and I have a lot of fun hitting cleaners across the map.
Speaking of fun, let's talk about weapons. Now, throughout the trailers, you can see a number of different weapons. Can you go a little deeper into what those weapons are and how they work?
So we really wanted to expand on the amount of choices the player had in Back 4 Blood with their weapon. So of course there's handguns, shotguns, LMGs, SMGs, sniper rifles, and a whole bunch of other types of weapons, each with sort of like a unique character feel to them.
Now, how deep does this weapon customization go? I really want to know. What are some of the different attachments and options, and how do they change the gameplay overall?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of different customization options for your weapons. So throughout the world, you can find scopes, silencers, stocks, sights, all that good stuff. You can mix and match them, so there's a ton of options.
Last question. Do you have a favorite type of weapon?
Absolutely. So as I said earlier, I really enjoy playing Mom, so her shotgun is definitely at the top of my list.
Ah, that's a solid choice. All right, we've learned a little bit about how it all works, the cleaners, the Ridden, the mutations, as well as how the customization works for the weapons. Thank you so much for joining me, Brandon, and for giving us a little bit more detail on Back 4 Blood's new PvP mode, Swarm.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait for everyone to get their hands on this game. We're all really excited.
I can't wait either. The good news is that you guys won't have to wait too long. There's an open beta coming up on August 12th with an early access portion on August 5th available to those who pre-order. That's all for today, but Back 4 Blood still has a lot more to reveal in the coming months, so stay tuned. Bye.
There you go. That was the Back 4 Blood showcase. Let me turn it down. And again, as I told you guys, there was no surprise Gotham Knights trailer at the end. That's what you get for Back 4 Blood. And that is, those are the big kind of publisher events today. As some folks pointed out, there is PC Gamer and Future Game Show that are going to be streaming a little bit, and you can watch it directly on their channels. I've unfortunately got some other engagements, so won't be able to personally co-stream, but supportive of what those guys are doing, and you guys can certainly check those out if you want. But I'll answer a couple more questions if you want before we go here on the chat. So feel free to drop some questions, and we will talk about it. Let's see. Yeah, it was a short look. I agree with you. Some people are saying I was disappointed. I wanted to learn more, and yeah, I agree. It was a shorter look. And that was Naomi Kyle, who is my fellow Canadian, actually hosted that. And she's cool, and that was great to see. They were sharing a little bit on that game as part of the showcase. Let's see. What games do I think will show at the... Can I show the Elden Ring trailer again? I just showed it before, but you guys can't get enough. We'll show it once more before we get out of here. What games do I think will be shown at the PC showcase? It's a good question. Oh, I got to put future chat back on. Sorry. You guys can see these questions. There you go. I don't know. I think I've seen a list of some of the stuff. I'm trying to remember what the big... I think there's some Dying Light stuff that's going to be in PC Gamer. I'm not sure what's going to be in future. But Troy Baker and I think Laura Bailey and Troy Baker are hosting the Future Game Showcase, which is pretty cool. So they're great people, and excited to see sort of what those guys have in store for us. Let's see. What would I say to someone who wants to get involved in this game showcase field of work? In terms of, in which way? Like in terms of, Aaron, is that in terms of producing them or having a game in them or making them? There are lots of different ways to be involved, or co-streaming them, right? I mean, the cool thing is you can do stuff yourself as well. But anyways, respond back to me. Let's respond back to you. Let's see. When is the next SGF event? Good question. There's some stuff coming up. There's the Sonic Symphony on June 23rd. There's some demo events, which are events that aren't necessarily going to be streams, but there's the Steam Next Fest that starts on Wednesday. There's the Xbox Summer Game Fest showcase, demo showcase that'll happen on Tuesday. That's where you get to play Tunic and Sable and a few other games as part of that. And Nintendo will be on Tuesday. It's not an official Summer Game Fest event. But Nintendo's got their big direct, which I'm excited to watch just personally as a fan of Nintendo. All right, you guys really want to see Elden Ring again? All right. We waited long enough, right? All right, here is the Elden Ring trailer.
Tarnished will soon return, guided by grace once lost. The Golden Order is broken to its core.
Lord, I command thee